So we just did our second half, and we are going to try to debate some flavors in terms of neat pour and a cocktail. I think that I'm hoping there's an answer that lies where it checks both boxes. I think I kind of have one, but I'm excited to see what everybody else has to say. I really don't like going first, just because I don't. I got all this power, and I don't want people to be intimidated.
Okay.
There we go.
I'll go.
Yeah, I'd love for it.
I'll be happy.
Do it. Yeah. What? Yeah, give us a rundown.
This is untraditional, stepping out of the box.
Yeah,
Reid
no.
usually waits till the end to see if his vote.
Yeah, that's right. I
A
hold
lot
it
of
to.
things.
I'll go.
A lot of things are changing.
I'm gonna start with B.
Start with B. Let's talk
I'm
about it.
gonna tell you. So it has. I kind of like the short finish on it, just because but not huge on sorghum.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of the sorghum in there.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be my first one to strike. Yeah.
Dum, dum, dum.
Yes.
Cue the music. Cue the music.
But I kept revisiting C.
Yeah.
And I'd like it. Then get back to A, and like A more. I did not get. I got the maltiness. It's very malty.
In C or
C.
Yeah.
C is very
For sure.
malty.
It is malty.
I did like the maple graham crackery pecan thing going on, and I like the sweetness. But as far as now, I'm leaning toward A because I said I'm a sucker for the caramel and vanilla sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
It's there.
It's but I like the spice. Most importantly, I like that lingering spice.
Yeah.
So
Caroline?
We going down the line?
Yeah, Caroline, you go ahead.
This one's tough for me. I feel like C in a cocktail mindset is a little too soft. B has a lot of different flavors than what I was expecting it to. And it's funny you said sorghum because I thought C is like one of the reigning flavors is sorghum, and that's also not really in my favorite profile. Not that I don't love it though.
she said it's
Love
much
it.
nicer.
You mean
than
in
that.
C or in A?
In
You
C,
get it more.
in
got it in
C,
C, yeah.
I got a lot of sorghum.
Yeah.
They're
In
both
B,
malty sorghum, yeah.
Yeah.
in B, I really like what we were saying, the crux of right before sugar turns to caramel. And I like that almost like burnt flavor. And I like the earthiness of it a lot. A, I really like the freshness of it and the spiciness of it. I think it cuts really nicely. I think it dissipates really nicely. It's kind of what I would like to sip on in a neat glass or to mix it. And especially with what I have an idea for, I think all the elements combined will make for a really nice, like, full-bodied cocktail. And I think A represents it well for me.
I was in the middle of taking a sip.
Control.
Yeah, control. I need to control sip. B is nostalgia for me. I don't think it's anything more than that. It's super chill. Can drink it. I think that if any of us got that put in front of us, we'd be like, oh yeah, who needs ice?
I'll stay here.
That's what I like.
Who needs
about it.
ice?
That's what I like about it.
Super easy. I just don't know it's gonna. I would want to pick that in a lot of settings, but I don't think we pick that right now. I definitely get like a mild chocolate off that, which I really like. This was really hard for me because I've talked myself into A and C at different points in time. So, you know, with C, I really get like a nuttiness that balances the malt to me. Like it's malty, but then when I taste that like pecan flavor, like they say, I was thinking it was a toasted almond, but they're calling it toasted coconut. Whatever, right? I don't know. You know, who knows? But I found something there, and as I thought about cocktails, I really was talking myself into that, and then we got to talking about just some dark fruits while we were doing the second round, and having that ride. Something about that finish of A. Every time I think about it, I'm like, man, this is the one you got to get if you're gonna make a drink. But then if I'm thinking about, man, what one has a little bit more unique flavor on your profile, like something more subtle and gentle that you want to have neat, I kind of go back to C because there's some balance there. So I'm having a hard time. I definitely think, without a doubt, Caroline can make a drink out of either one of them. So it's really tough. I want to give Mark a chance to like say his before I like put a vote on it, because then I feel like if I vote something or agree or disagree, it just puts a lot of pressure on him. So I'm gonna let him do it, and then I'll come back and try. But I feel like, you know, if you want to talk about B first, I feel like B's almost been eliminated for that reason.
Well,
I hope you're on that same page. But he'll probably be like, well, B's the best one. Like, I'm gonna let Mark go. I'm gonna let Mark go, and then come back to me.
I mean, just got to start saying I think B blew all of my hoop. No, I think Chris and I fell very close on something with B, where I would drink that neat all day. However, cocktailing, I think it's lacking for the other two. So I kind of pulled myself aside, you know, and say, okay, well that's for me, yes, for what we're doing with this, maybe not. And I came up with this wonderful advanced math system to rate things on.
Is this a 1 to 10 scale?
I didn't do mine.
With both
Sorry.
cocktailing and drinking them neat.
to do that.
And guess what? They all scored the exact same score, so it didn't help any. And that was without me adding up the numbers first. They all scored.
Were they all sevens?
So they were all 14.5 totals. So, anyways, but
Yeah.
so going back and forth. What I got is kind of similar to what you were just saying. I like it's basically what we're looking at here. To me, is do we want something with a little more like the peppery spice versus something with a little bit of the sweeter note?
Yeah.
To me, and it's which way we want to take things with that. It's honestly hard to. That's the one distinguishing characteristic between the two. To me, it's sweeter versus
Which one do you think
spicier. I think C has the sweeter notes.
Yeah.
I think A has the spicier notes. So that's the main crux for me.
Yeah, go for it.
And no matter what, we're going to be pouring this with our name on it, as we always keep on trying to like rein in on like it, whether it be for cocktails or neat pours or whatever. It's like we have our control of the amazing Woodford Reserve, but then our decision to represent what we're doing here, I think that needs to just be reminded of as what are we going to distinguish something different that your not average, your consumer, edit that
Yeah.
will be like, ooh, that's cool. Like that's something that's different than their straightforward and classic and wonderful bottle, and what's something that we can decipher a little bit differently and represent what we're doing here. Because right now our mindset with the menus that we're building and the space that we're holding is customizing almost every step along the way of everything we're doing, between the bar burning, the cocktails, the tables, and like the hard work and effort that is going into every day that we're spending time.
I think that's been the most fun part of the process, is like really trying to create something that's unique, right?
Yeah.
So the only thing I was gonna kind of throw on the table is like, look, I think we all know that B is outstanding, but it's not what we're looking for right now. So the question is, when you come back and compare this bottle from what Caroline just said, right?
Yep.
If you're gonna compare what's in here to what's in here, that's where the answer lies, don't you think? Like, so maybe we take like a quick second and then revisit the control and really find something distinct, because I think we'd be doing ourselves a disservice if we find something that is totally similar. You know what I mean?
Good
So,
point.
yeah, what do you think, Reid?
Yeah, I think that is. I mean, we can get regular, we can get that great Woodford at any time, at any place.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Yeah. Once again, you took the words out of my. That's.
Yeah.
I was literally about to say, like, I think we're pretty torn on the two, and I think the difference should be what has a more unique thing from regular.
What's the Paddock stamp?
So
Yeah.
and that's what I was kind of saying with you guys because I saw it trending a certain way, and I was like, I'm kind of leaning that way too. But I was like, let's let Mark say it, and then it was like, well, hold on, like, I tried the control, right? And I'm like, I don't know, man, that's kind of spicy and kind of got some dark. All of a sudden, I was getting all the same flavors of the first one, but then I remembered it has 212 flavors, and I was
many
playing
flavors.
tricks in my head. So let's take like a quick second.
I found the one that wasn't.
We're gonna have to go to emergency overtime on this. I mean it's 3:45, so we all usually work till 5 p.m. So we got a little bit of time here. So we'll take a quick second and check these out one more time.
What am I still doing here?
I'm gonna keep filming, but
I'm making
I'm
jokes.
literally gonna put lies
making
on the
jokes.
bottom of the screen when you say that.
I'm making
You're
jokes
done at
about
noon
people that are
every
at work.
day.
No, I love it.
bring it in.
I love it.
All my boring.
Brought to you by the fine people of Brown Foreman.
engineering
You always
friends.
have
Like,
to.
oh, I'm so smart. I'm like, are you really? Like, I don't know. What did you do this afternoon?
5.
If you average out our 4
I live here now.
work days together,
Yeah.
Save
You
me.
need more of this? Yeah.
I live in the vault.
So B is gone.
yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah.
So-
B
You
is
did it.
gone.
Bye-bye, B. I'll have some A, I guess.
I'll finish the beat.
All right. You need some A. Here's A.
Yeah, that's all I need. But
What do you?
You took like.
Oh, that's
what
what
I was literally about.
Well, I
to
just
say.
felt like we were about to make a decision, and I literally took a sip
That's
of the
good.
control, and I was like, you know what, this kind of tastes like that. And I was
Yeah.
like, are we about to pick fucking Woodford?
That's what-
You know what I mean? Like just regular,
Woodford
like
2.0.
straight off the shelf Woodford. Because I mean,
The
we
biggest
can go
thing-
buy that at the store.
it turns
right?
out the thing I wanted out of a whiskey tastes like Woodford.
It's like,
It's everything I thought it would be.
Oh.
look, I mean, I think people, if anybody wants to say like picking a Woodford barrel isn't exciting, they're an idiot. I mean, this is like some of the best bourbon in the whole world, and people get all worked up because it's not allocated. It's like not allocated because they got it dialed in,
Yeah.
and they're doing their thing, and it is coming out all the time. The way they heat cycle those rick houses, it just produces consistent bourbon all the time. They're not a slave to like the freaking climate, right? They're creating that climate. It's true though. I know that's not the best way to put it, but
Well,
like
when
they
you-
control that environment.
It's one of the only places with their own cooperage too.
Oh,
So like
dude.
the way that they torch their
One
barrels
of
is consistent and steadfast, and
I mean-
they're doing it mathematically
Yeah.
and like by hands and machines and science and having it all come together in a way that is strategic and that they can continue producing an amazing consistent product, and I think that's really exciting. So let's fuck it up.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Just like
Here we go.
anything else,
Fucking
it's but in the bourbon industry, I feel like it happens very heavily. Is Woodford and other brands like I'm not gonna say
Yeah,
it,
be-
so they get knocked on.
Nailed it.
See, you can beep it out.
You beep it out.
They get knocked because they became successful. Well, they became successful for a reason.
Oh my God.
And
Consistency.
they're making a product that is good. They're making a product that is excellent. And so it's like to knock it to be like, oh, it's not allocated. It doesn't matter. That doesn't mean it's not good.
Just will drink the shit out of it.
It doesn't matter. That I can't say that enough. Like people get so caught up in rare and allocation. And if you did blind tastings, it's amazing how many times this is going to come on top. If it's not on top, it's in your final 3, it's in your final 2, and people just don't appreciate it enough. And that's silly to say because it's purchased worldwide. I mean, this is an amazing product. I mean, Reid and I have been pretty fortunate to go to Woodford to be hosted with some people there. It was a lot of fun. We've been
It's
extremely
gorgeous.
fortunate to sit down and have lunch with Chris Morris. I mean, it was a super exciting experience just to talk to him. I mean, he's not what you'd expect. He's just a really laid-back, calm guy. You can tell he's super intelligent. He's
So
very
fun.
impressive.
Very,
yeah.
very, very cool.
And they know exactly what they're doing.
Well-
It's a science. Yeah.
So now that we have a little control in front of us,
Yeah. Yeah, the question is so, this is, you like this, and I like to say this, me and Mark, we tend to be a lot alike in a lot of these things. Uniqueness.
yep.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Yeah, uniqueness.
If our label is going to be stamped on any of this, what I want of every bottle that's on the shelf is someone to come in and say, I had XYZ Paddock and it is different from normal XYZ.
I can only get this here.
Yeah, I don't care what it is. And I don't even care, like, listen, nothing's going to be for everybody.
Oh,
So, like, if someone comes in, they're like, oh, well, I'd rather have regular Woodford, then guess what? Have regular Woodford. That's fine. But you came and tried, like, our expression of it, our version of it, what we found valuable
What we
about
love
it.
about it, what we
Exactly.
love about the
So-
brand and the gifts that they've
Yeah.
been giving us, and we get to share the Paddock version of.
For sure. I
very
like, and
cool.
so, and you know, we might still go down the same path we were going before. You know what I'm saying? But I thought it was important to like take a step back and see like where is that difference and where does it lie?
Damn you, Woodford.
No right or wrong answer. Yeah, I mean,
I can go first this time.
it's exciting. I just need like 2 more seconds and then, or actually you go ahead while I'm drinking.
Yeah,
this.
so with what we just said, this is what's been different for this tasting than any tasting that I've done since I came on with you guys. Everything that we have selected, me and you have extremely similar profiles. Reid, you're right there with us. Like, we like high rye stuff with spice,
We like
stuff
that.
stuff that has that peppery note. So in this case,
Like-
normally I would say I want to lean towards A, but
Yeah.
if I go A, I'm going something that isn't more unique to regular Woodford than C. I think C has something different to it, and I thoroughly enjoy C. I think it has those sweeter notes. I think it has something unique in a Woodford bottle that people won't expect. And so, even though normally I would say, oh, the spice gets me, the spice gets me, the spice gets me, it's if we bring in that word uniqueness, then I have to say like C is where I think we should go. Otherwise, we're at risk of putting 2 bottles of Woodford on the shelf that honestly taste extremely similar.
Yeah. Wow. The heavy's vote is in. Let's jump to Caroline, and then Reid and I'll go.
Ooh.
We do that because, for one reason, Reid and I, we couldn't be luckier to have 2 employees like this that work. But yeah, they work for us, but they don't work for us. They work with us. They're like partners. Everything we do, we like work together. We have a really good team here. And I mean, I really value their opinions, and I think Reid does
Very
as well.
true.
And it's
Very
not,
true.
it's not anything other than that. Like I just love to hear what you guys have to say.
Okay.
I think that it's fun to work with you guys, and it's really fun to do this. This is what's so fun. We were doing it with Mark, and then when you jumped on board, we threw you into one just to see what would happen, and you've been in every one since too. So same thing with Mark. We did one with Mark, and he's been in every one since. It was like, all right, we're either gonna like having him here, or we're not gonna like it. And so we like.
Everyone will get bored of you and me after a little while.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? It's I just want you guys to know that, I mean, it means a lot to do it. Reid and I picked these barrels by ourselves with no camera for a while, which was fun. You know, we could really say whatever we wanted. But it was always politically correct, I promise. Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. But it's even more fun having you guys here. So I just love hearing other people's opinion. You know, I just love whiskey. I love all these whiskeys. Every whiskey we had is good. If we picked any of them, I'd be ecstatic. So it's going to be
And we
really
don't
fun
have
to
any
do.
bad whiskeys.
No,
It's
no
nice
bad
to be in
whiskey.
this position that we get to do this at all.
It's insane. Like I said, it's 4 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon, and this is what we're doing. I'm very thankful for that. Not because I love to like drink all the time. I just really enjoy this product. I just think it's so cool and so unique to pick this stuff. And I feel like when everybody gets off work, this is what they want to do. And so we get to spend our day
Doing
getting
this
people,
asswork.
we'll do the dirty work. All right.
Cultivating the neighborhood.
And when y'all get off work, you can know that we're gonna have picked the best whiskey you can taste, and we're really proud of that. But anyway, I'll let Caroline go. I just wanted to say that real quick because it means a lot to have you guys, and your opinion means a lot. So I like to have it, to hear it, because it's gonna help us decide what we want to do.
You're here, control group.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah.
All right.
You make my mascara run.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys. Well, thank you. That was very sweet and special. And it is a really, really cool experience. I've never done this with anybody else.
That's what she said.
Right?
Had input?
Yeah. Edit that one.
That's what she said.
Michael.
nailed it.
kidding. Don't care.
Edit.
No, that's good for
Don't give layups, Caroline.
Just wait till you see the rest
Oh,
of the
God,
videos.
here we
Am I
go.
right, Andre?
All right.
Just kidding. All right, so we've got U with C. From my cocktail perspective, I'm leaning toward A. I think it's bringing the heat that I like, especially in the cocktail that will be featured. But honestly, A or C are gonna kill it no matter what.
But what do you like?
But
just don't beat around the bush.
I really like. I think I like A. I like that it's sharp and spicy. I like that it feels a little bit on the green side, whether that be a green like raw nut that we've been talking about. And there's just a little bit of like vegetal note, which I kind of dig a lot. Versus C for me, which leans a little bit sweeter and like maltier than I think. I'd rather sip on A in a glass on the rocks, splash of whatever. We don't have judgments here. Drink however you want to drink, or in the cocktail that is already imagined. And I vote A.
She votes A. Reid, do you want to do it or
I'll
do you
go.
want me to do
I
it?
think I already wrote it.
Yeah. What did he say? He's got a letter written down there. A.
He's
What
got
was-
a scarlet letter.
Yeah. What was the?
I kind of.
Yeah. What was the? In a nutshell, what was the big thing?
Go back.
Yeah.
Caroline was complimenting my notes today,
Yeah,
guys.
Always do.
I got the earthy and the green, which is kind of, for me, that was different than the regular Woodford.
Yeah. That was my question.
And so that was interesting to me. And of course, then, like I said earlier, I also got what I wanted, which was the caramelly vanilla.
Yeah.
And I got some of that dark fruit, but I'm sticking with the spice. The spice is what kept me there.
Yeah.
So the thing is, after 86B first, like,
Don't tell me you went back to it.
I went back to it. And
All right.
Classic
no,
mistake.
I didn't write my letter down. I know, and then I was like, wow, it's so interesting. But yes, I'm going to stick with A.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I found some more things about it that I liked. Again, don't let anyone tell you it's easy to get with.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
I don't.
here we go.
Yeah, I know it's super tough.
Don't just.
I bounced around and hoped everybody else would solve it for me.
Yeah.
I think C's more unique for my profile. But here's my problem with the whole thing is, and A's better for a cocktail. There's no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. There's something about C that's a little bit more unique to me. I like something about the nuttiness. To me, balance the malty, right? Like I get a malty nose. That's what gets me like kind of on it. But you look at A. I mean, it's start to finish. So the nose is really good. It's spicy. It's really hard. So like I kind of called halftime like, oh, what's more unique? I think C, is or overtime. Excuse me. Like I think C's more unique. But I think that if I got to be the deciding factor, I think you just go with A. I think that rye is going to stand up big time in the drink she's talking about. I think that even speaking for Mark, not out of line, I think Mark was ready to pick A, and then we started having this uniqueness debate. And then that's what me and him were talking about, while you guys are talking about something else, which is fine. That's what's fun about this. It's like, well, what's more unique? Well, we're like, well, C's. Like, if you drink that one, it's like, this one's totally kind of different, is what I thought. And so a neat pour, C, a neat pour and a cocktail, I think it's A. And so that you know what I'm saying. And the funny thing is like it wasn't unanimous, but it kind of is because I think Mark doesn't disagree.
I feel like it falls into the category of what I was saying, and honestly, like we can go to going back to having our stamp on it. Like we can look at it this way, like pretty much everything we've picked, I think, even before Caroline came on board and since she came on board, we've always picked stuff that has that peppery, high rye kind of, feeling. That's always what we lead to.
Yeah.
That's what we like. And that's why A was, like, I wrote down A as my, like I told you, I wrote down A as my winner, and then I was like, but is it different enough? And so then, like, C is definitely still, I will say, C is the more out there versus a regular Woodford.
I think so. Versus regular Woodford.
Yeah, but if we can make that stand out, and I think we can, and honestly, I think it holds its ground enough to where it's not just like, oh, well, sure, they slapped a sticker on the bottle.
Oh, yeah, no, I think A,
That's not what we do.
And not to like downplay what we're talking about, because uniqueness is hard. I do think that A follows a more similar profile to what we're getting out of the bottle, but it's way more rich. It's way more dark fruit, and the spice level's higher. I mean, without a doubt. From what I get off of the control to that, I completely agree with that. I just found when I went here, I'm like, oh, this is like, I'm getting a lot of different stuff versus like maybe like more subtle difference. Everybody's palate's so different. I think that I disagree. I think we know what Caroline wants to do with it, and I think that's what's like leading us down that way with that particular cocktail. So I think that this is really exciting. I think that we're gonna pick batch A. Batch A is from Woodford Reserve. They are going for batch A is going for a spicy dark fruit character, which is going to work really well in the cocktail that she has planned. Savory green spices. I mean, so I think we all found green in a different way on that drink.
I almost had like eucalyptus.
Some people, yeah.
Papaya.
Or papaya.
You would.
Eucalyptus. I almost see that now that you say it. But the funny thing is that green to me can mean a lot of things. The green to me always is vegetable, like very earthy, right? So it's very earthy. It's like when you drink wine, something's like you get earth on certain wines. So I get that. It's really cool. Dark cherry is just that sweetness you want when you're balancing a cocktail. So you're going like boom to boom. It's going to help you a bunch. Always finishes the same way. They have a good char on their barrels. They're always going to give you a caramel. They're always going to give you a vanilla. They're going to give you a maple. They're going to give you something really nice to finish with. So I think it's really great. I'm super excited about it. I think I was the one that had to be convinced a little bit on this one, but I think that this is the right move. Reid, what do you think? You have anything else you want to add to that?
And you said it was going to be so easy.
It's so easy. I said it'd be so easy. We'd be out of here in a tight 20. It's been a solid hour.
Turns out this control group is pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's what made it hard for me. Is every time I went back to the controlled Woodford, I picked up a new flavor, and now I guess I used to call it bullshit. I'm not calling bullshit anymore. There's 212 flavors, maybe 213, arguably, if they want to accept skin of papaya, but the inside, not the outside.
No, outside, not inside.
Outside, not inside. 213 flavors. We're gonna say it right here. I don't.
Have you licked up a pie?
I've never. That's what Mike. I think I was distracted the whole time because I'm like, well, when did Caroline lick up a papaya?
Yeah.
I lived on my way.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'll say this though. Like when you told me to go and get a bottle of Woodford, you're like, oh, well, they reckon. I was like, they just want us to buy a bottle of Woodford. Weatherford.
Yeah.
That made a huge difference.
Huge difference.
Tasting something just poured out of the normal bottle and then and getting to constantly reference back to that made a giant difference.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like, I'm glad we did that. And we've done that randomly in our picks. Like, we'll pick previous year's pick and like use that as our control. But and whenever Reid and I pick the first Eagle or something like that, we pull control off the shelf. Like, all right, well, let's compare it against this. So it's the way to do it because
that was the beat goal.
Uniqueness is a key, and we downplay it like A wasn't more unique. It's unique. It's definitely
They're all unique.
Different.
They're all unique.
The question is varying levels, like how different. Yeah.
I also think that we didn't really like touch base on the finish and the mouthfeel near, like, we talk plenty, but but I think that in terms of the straight pour versus in a cocktail, I think that really lends to be like another interesting aspect.
We were going to go that
of-
direction anyway
of that thing.
for the present.
That thing
present
hangs out.
time.
Because Woodford Reserve
Space.
hangs
Oh,
and
yeah.
it chills and it hangs like that's
true.
your dad's juice.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of cool to have option A as almost like a shorter, sharper finish.
Yeah.
And that being a deciphering option.
I'm with you.
Team
We did
A.
it. We did it. Team
A.
A. Wait, what's funny is I think we were all leaning that way, and I think Mark and I got into a rabbit hole, like trying to outthink ourselves a little bit. Too.
I wrote A down after the first sample through and then
Yeah.
scratched it out.
What's funny is I think
that.
well, here's what's funny is I knew all of you were thinking A, and I was thinking C, and I was like, all right, let me call overtime, see if I can get anybody on my side. I got nobody on my side, but
You got me.
Yeah,
And
I
then
did.
you-
I
and then
talked
you
him into
switched.
it. I talked him into it. Well, because I had to. I wouldn't get. What kind of coin flip scenario would that be? But I'm super excited. Reid, I know you're excited.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. If you've never been to
stoked.
Versailles, Kentucky, you should go.
Oh my God, we had an amazing
Hey.
trip. Yeah, it is a distillery to see, and there's a reason that you see so much Woodford Reserve on the back of bars and in liquor stores. It is one of the best bourbons in the entire world, and
Like-
we're very lucky to get to pick one of the barrels, and we're very lucky to get it in to do everything we're going to do with it, put our stamp on it, and we can't wait to have it. We know that everything we get to do is because of them. It's not like we made this whiskey, we just had the opportunity to taste it. So I'm excited that we got to do it, and we got to pick the one we like the best, and especially the one that's going to work best for us. It's going to be a really cool whiskey that I think everybody's
fun.
going to love. Everybody's going to love this. Everybody's going to love the cocktail. Everybody's going to love the neat pour. It is a great representation of Woodford Reserve.
Yeah.
See you guys again next time. Thank you so much.
Come and see us soon. 1074 East Montague.
I thought you just said Woodruff Reserve. So
Woodruff.
that was cool.
Yeah, not
Coming
quite.
soon.
Not- yeah.
Damn it!
Coming in at the end.
Nailed it.
Touche, sir. Touche.
I hate this place.